Almost every Christian is told that Hebrews teaches, the Old Testament is over, the Torah is ended, the temple is obsolete, the sacrifices were abolished. But does Hebrews actually say any of those things? Or have we been reading it through a modern lens instead of the world in which it was written? Today we're going to read the entire book as a first-century Jew would have understood it. The first question is simple. When was Hebrews written? This matters more than most people realize. Most scholars, including many conservative scholars, place Hebrews before 70 AD. Why? Because the temple is described as functioning in the present tense. The priests are still offering sacrifices. Nothing suggests Jerusalem has already fallen. That changes everything. If the temple is still standing, Hebrews cannot be arguing that sacrifices had already stopped, because they hadn't. Instead, the author writes to believers who are tempted to abandon Messiah and return to relying solely on the earthly temple system. The question is not Torah or Messiah. The question is, can the earthly temple save you apart from the heavenly high priest? Chapter 1 begins by proving one thing: Yeshua is greater than the angels. Why? Because the Son inherits the kingdom. This fulfills Psalm 2, Psalm 110, and other messianic prophecies. Chapter 2 explains why the Messiah became human, not to abolish Torah, but to become a merciful high priest who could represent humanity. Chapter 3 compares Yeshua with Moses. Notice carefully, the author never criticizes Moses, he honors him. The comparison is between faithful servants within the same household. Chapter 4 introduces God's rest. Many assume this abolishes the Sabbath. It does not. The author actually says, there remains a Sabbath rest for the people of God. The Sabbath becomes a picture of God's greater rest, not its replacement. Now the book reaches its major subject, the high priest, not the abolition of Torah, the high priest. Chapter 5 introduces Melchizedek. Psalm 110 promised that the Messiah would become a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. This priesthood predates Levi. Chapter 6 encourages perseverance. The promises of God remain certain. The discussion of Melchizedek continues. Chapter 7 explains why a new priesthood exists. Levitical priests die. The Messiah lives forever. Therefore, his priesthood never passes away. Notice something important. The Torah itself already contains multiple priesthoods. Melchizedek existed before Aaron. Hebrews is not inventing something new. Now we reach chapter 8. This is where most confusion begins. Hebrews says the Messiah ministers in the true heavenly sanctuary. Moses built the earthly tabernacle according to the heavenly pattern. This idea comes directly from Exodus. Then Jeremiah 31 is quoted, the new covenant. But Jeremiah never says the Torah disappears. He says the Torah will be written on the heart. Hebrews 8 says the first is becoming old. What is the immediate subject? The sanctuary system discussed throughout chapters 7 and 8. Not the moral teachings of Torah. Chapter 9 continues discussing the first tabernacle and the heavenly sanctuary. The earthly sanctuary is symbolic. The heavenly sanctuary is the greater reality. Notice something remarkable. The priests are still serving. The sacrifices are still being offered. Hebrews never says they had already stopped, because history tells us they hadn't. Chapter 10 begins with sacrifices. The sacrifices themselves were never evil. The Torah commanded them. Their limitation was that they could not permanently remove sin. The Messiah offers himself once for all. This does not mean sacrifices become sinful. It means his offering accomplishes what animal sacrifices never claimed to accomplish. Hebrews says, he takes away the first to establish the second. Read the context. The discussion concerns sacrificial ministry. The heavenly ministry fulfills what the earthly system foreshadowed. Then comes the warning passages. Do not abandon Messiah. Do not trample upon the covenant. These warnings make little sense if Hebrews were simply declaring Judaism finished. Chapter 11 celebrates faith. Abraham, Sarah, Moses, David, the prophets. Not one of them is criticized for following Torah. Instead, they become examples for believers. The God of Abraham has not changed. His faithfulness has not changed. Chapter 12 compares Sinai and heavenly Zion. This is covenant fulfillment, not cancellation. Finally, chapter 13 encourages believers to continue doing good, show hospitality, honor marriage, and remain faithful. The practical life of holiness continues. Then, only a few years later, Jerusalem falls, the temple is destroyed, the sacrifices cease, not because Hebrews abolished them, but because there was no temple left in which to offer them. Exactly as happened previously during periods when the temple was destroyed or desecrated in Israel's history. When Hebrews is read through first-century Jewish eyes, It becomes one of the most beautiful books in the New Testament, not because it rejects the Torah, but because it reveals the Messiah as the eternal high priest serving in the heavenly sanctuary promised from the beginning. The earthly temple pointed to a greater reality. The Torah pointed to the Messiah. And the Messiah fulfills the purpose of the Torah without abolishing what the Eternal declared holy.